What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and this one I'm going to break down what's going on with Tesla, SPY, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down what's happening with the economic calendar thus far, what the news is saying about the markets, what you should be watching for going into today and tomorrow. But before I break into all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I am firstly not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull and deposit any amount of money into the account, you are guaranteed up to 6 free stocks. If you deposit $500, you're guaranteed 20 free stocks plus 6 months of level 2 data. But in $25,000 or more, you're guaranteed 70 free stocks plus 12 months of level 2 data. This offer ends in just 4 days, so check it out before they run out. Anyways, let's break down what's going on with the market. So, looking at SPY, I just want to mention that SPY is on a very, very nice uptrend thus far. We're going to be watching this resistance right here as we approach that 474 area. Now, I called this level out, and I said that either by Thursday or Friday, we should see this level play out. And so far, SPY is continuing to push. Now, SPY is going to gap up pretty strongly, but the question is, will it just gap and go, or will it come back down to fill this gap below before it pushes up higher? We'll just have to wait and see, but I'll be breaking down more details about that in just a couple of minutes. Let's first talk about the economic data that's helping the market push. Retail sales month over month were up 0.3%, better than expected, still showing some strength, at least for the economy, at least on paper. Not saying that the economy is in the strongest of places, but on paper, the data still shows some strength, some growth, and etc. Initial jobless claims was well below expectations at 202,000, showing some strength in the labor market. And this is once again what Jerome Powell and Janet Yellen were talking about yesterday. They are still projecting a possible soft landing. And the market is once again, it was very, very excited about that. But we'll see if that ends up being the case, because historically, we can't always trust the Fed. Now, moving forward, I just want to remind everyone that there's going to be some volatility at 11:30 a.m. as we have the 4-week bill auction and the 8-week bill auction coming out. And that's pretty much it. I don't see anything else that's too crazy in terms of data for the rest of today. Going into tomorrow, the data is going to be very minor. We do have some PMI data, but that's pretty much it. Nothing too crazy is going on. Now, some big news has come out. The Dow Jones closed above 37,000 for the first time ever, once again breaking to new all-time highs. This is once again very, very incredible. And once again, SPY and the NASDAQ or the S&P 500 and NASDAQ are getting closer to those all-time highs as well. Once again, absolutely incredible. We saw Jerome Powell pump the markets. Adobe shares have had a phenomenal year, climbing about 85% through Wednesday's close, outpacing the S&P 500's gains. So the software maker was once again, ready for some nice guidance. However, it ended up falling because it issued guidance for next year that came below what they were looking for. So we wanted it to have strong guidance, but it ended up coming just short. Etsy employees are once again going to see some layoffs. They're going to be cutting about 11% of their workforce, which is not the best of news. And Hasbro is going to be cutting about 15% of its staff. That's pretty much it for news affecting the markets. Now let's break down the charts real quick. What's going on with the market? SPY is just continuing to rip up. If you look at the 4-hour, there's no sign of it breaking down. There are two possibilities. I mean, it looks really strong, guys. It looks really strong, so I find it a little less likely, unless this is some kind of trap. It is possible that there are two possibilities. Let me just show you what they are. I'm going to actually redraw these just so that it's easy for you to follow. We'll see if SPY kind of like pushes up to this 474 area, the level I called out yesterday. And then if we come back down like this, we retrace just a little bit. Do we come back down to fill this gap just by a bit before we continue higher going into like Friday like this? Is that what's going to happen? Or is SPY just going to continue to squeeze in a very consistent manner where it just kind of pumps to 474, trades sideways for a bit, pushes higher, and it just slowly grinds up and up and up and up and up, and it just basically gets up to like 480. Can we turn at 475? I'm not sure if we're going to turn. We look really strong. We could just continue to push for these higher levels, but I want to see how it reacts to 474 to 475. If we continue to break that, we're going to be heading towards 478 to 480. Once again, tagging the all-time high, at least on TradingView. Looks bullish so far. Nothing is surprising about this. We were calling more upside yesterday. As far as the QQQ goes, it's trying to break out, but it's not looking like it's pushing as hard as that of SPY. We had two possibilities yesterday. The question is this thing going to retrace a little bit back down to 404? Maybe a little bit below that before it continues to go higher to 408, or are we going to shoot straight up to 408 today? I think 408 is coming on the QQQ, and we're going to see that by tomorrow. I think we're going to see another short squeeze. I still hold the same prediction, where it's just a matter, and the only question is, do we turn a little bit to cool off on our RSI a bit before we push up higher later on by Friday, or do we just, shoot up from here? Either way, it looks bullish, and I see more potential upside that's going to perpetuate. For Nvda is still continuing to break out. I called out 482 on Nvda. I said we're going to see 482. We're going to see some more upside. That's what we got. More upside has come. So with Nvda, you're going to be looking for a push for 488 to 490 next. I think there's a good chance it's going to attempt to do so. If that breaks, 495 to 500 are possibilities. It looks bullish. It's still continuing to uptrend. Could come down to grab some more liquidity right here around 482 and then bounce back up to 490 plus, or it could just push straight up to 490 plus and make its way up to 500. Overall, the chart is bullish. It held support nicely. It's uptrending very, very well. I think Nvda has upside coming. I still favor the upside for the stock. If you also look at Nvda, especially on the bigger time frames, I just want to mention that on the daily, it's starting to turn more bullish. There's going to be a breakout. It's going to probably get closer to 500 over time. And the 4-hour is still looking bullish. Not bad whatsoever. Same thing on SPY and the QQQ. Now for Tesla's starting to show some life. Let me just show you where Tesla's showing some life because I was talking about this break from this falling wedge, which we got. I told you to watch 242. That's exactly where Tesla went to. And now we're going to be watching to see if Tesla could break this. If we break this, our next level is going to be this like 244 to 245 area. If we break that, watch the blue trend line of resistance. This is our historical resistance. If we test that, we're going to see a move to like 246 or so. If we break this blue trend line, we're going to be pushing for 250. So we're going to be watching this very carefully. Right now, we have a nice breakout from the falling wedge. We're holding up decently. If we come back down, watch 240 as support, 238 is the next level, and then we have 237 followed by 235. I don't think it's going to come all the way down to 235 unless we get a really bad piece of news. We could be forming a little flag here, so we kind of retrace a little bit, then we just break out again. But overall, the chart's looking a bit more bullish. It's trying to break out. It actually broke these wicks here, making higher highs and higher lows. So we could see Tesla start to just, uptrend like this, make a higher high, higher low, higher high, and just start to continue to uptrend, maybe even squeeze going into Friday, right? Just like that. So that's just a hypothetical example, guys. I see some more upside for Tesla. Let's see if this thing can try to break and hold 240. Once we break it, not 240, 242, and start pushing up and get closer to 250 ultimately over the next couple of trading days. The chart looks bullish. I favor the upside. As far as Aapl goes, Aapl is broken 198. It's still testing this resistance. I was calling this leveled out yesterday. Going to be looking to see if we could try to break this resistance and push up towards this upper trend line, but there's still potential for Aapl to push up. Now, if Aapl comes down, watch for 197. If it holds this, it could still try to bounce and etc. So it depends on if Aapl could just like cool off a bit and start breaking up, or if Aapl just keeps going. Aapl still has potential to push up higher and approach 200. Apple's looking pretty good. Let's hope for the best for Aapl. And with that being said, guys, the market still looks like it has more upside coming. Please remain calm, cool, and collected and do what you have to do. I will see you guys in the next one later on. Thank you and peace out.